Welcome to the Cryptonometron, and this morning we're going to talk about the success story, the crypto that's just killing it. It's not Bitcoin, it's Cardano. And why is Cardano killing it? Why is Cardano in the top 10 now? As I predicted, I told you, if you follow my videos, I told you Cardano is a top 10 currency. It is one of the best available cryptos out there. The technology is superior, even to the popular ones like Ethereum and Neo. It is a heavyweight. And yes, its supply is very high, its total supply, but so it can be used for day-to-day payments and it doesn't have to go right down into the fractions like Bitcoin does. So Cardano, success story over the last 24, 48 hours, and people can't believe it, but I've been telling people this for weeks now. Cardano was an underperforming and unrecognized coin. There were certain YouTubers out there that just completely dismissed it out of hand, saying it's never going to do nothing. Want to retract that statement now? I think you probably do, because Cardano had always the potential to be in the top 10 and possibly even the top 5 and possibly even a top 3 crypto, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It has the credentials, the team, the ability to punch with the heavyweights like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, $2 billion has flown into this currency in the last 24 hours. $2 billion. Just think about that, guys. $2 billion. And we could see now the volume in the last 24 hours is now 315 million, which is incredible. And it's now gone to a market cap of 3.7 billion. So from where it was before, well under $1 billion is just remarkable. The money coming into this crypto now is phenomenal. So it's smashed through 1,000 Satoshi price mark, smashed through it, and now it's at 1,400, and who knows how high it can go. Maybe 2,000, maybe 2,500. We'll need to wait and see. It might retract a little bit as people take profits, but the potential for this crypto is staggering, quite frankly. And it just got new pairings on Bitrex, which has given it a little bit more momentum, and it also got listed on some Korean exchanges as well, which are not yet visible on the markets tab in CoinMarketCap. But as you can see, the trajectory there is parabolic. And if you got it around 2 cents around here, then you are laughing. So you know, that's a 6 times return on your money. So what a success story Cardano is being, and it's one to watch. It always has been. If you know your cryptos, you would have had a position in this coin anyway. So what is Cardano exactly? Well, it's a decentralized public blockchain and cryptocurrency project, and it's fully open source, and it's for developing smart contract platforms, much like Ethereum, much like Neo is, but it's an evolved method of doing so based on scientific facts. So the team behind it's stellar. We'll have a quick look at the website now. The wallet, is called Daedalus, and that's fully downloadable, and it downloads the blockchain so you can update it. Ouroboros is going to be the proof of stake algorithm, so you'll be able to hold ADA coins and stake them for rewards. And as I said, the project is a blockchain platform formed out of pure scientific philosophy, which is quite interesting. It's a very complex project. If you want to look at it, I won't waffle on too much about the technical side, but the website's spectacular. They are on all the social media, and they're starting to get the recognition I think they duly deserve. Of course, Charles Hoskinson is the CEO and founder of Cardano, and he was previously the CEO at Ethereum, so he has experience. It's a very, very strong team behind it. In fact, we can go and look at the team just now. Some of the people you may recognize. They've got a YouTube channel, well worth going over there and checking it out. And there we can see their parent company is Input Output Hong Kong, and they're also partnered with Emurgo from the Philippines, I believe, and the Cardano Foundation. The currency is actually called the Cardano, but the ticker is ADA. The other big success story today is, of course, Iota. Smashing through all-time highs again at $1.47 at the moment, I believe. And the reason for this is the partnership they have with Microsoft, Fujitsu, and 20 more companies to launch the first publicly accessible data marketplace for the Internet of Things. This is massive, guys, and no wonder people have been buying this up in preparation for this announcement. And what Iota has is not quite a blockchain, and not as we know it, Jim, but it's called Tangle, and it scales in a different manner to blockchain. So there is a demo, and I'll leave the link below. You can click on that to see how the network actually scales and solves that problem. But the other companies involved are Deutsche Telekom, Bosch, Accenture, and PwC that are listed on this page. So this is massive for Iota. They're actually getting the recognition. Now, they've languished for so long, they're actually getting the recognition that they so much deserve. So that's fantastic. So if you're a bag holder in Iota, you're probably going to be pretty happy this morning when you woke up and saw the ticker. So let's go back and have a look how Iota's doing. And there it is there at 153 now, and it looks like there's no stopping Iota or Cardano, both on parabolic trajectories. And let's have a look at its chart here quickly. I like using CoinMarketCap rather than some of the other trading sites, because it just gives you a general overview of what all the exchanges are doing. And Iota's not on many markets. It was only available through its own website at one point. So the more available it becomes, the higher it's going to go. And you can see the volumes increase markedly there and the upward trajectory. So market cap now over $4 billion, which is amazing. Price of 14,000 going on to 15,000 Satoshi. So let's look at the rest of the coins, how they're performing, not least of all Bitcoin, now over 10,500, and it looks like there's no stopping Bitcoin now. I noticed one thing I noticed yesterday when I was watching BBC, CNN, and just flicking through the news channels. I don't often watch the television. I get most of my information from the internet, from non-biased and non-partisan areas and news networks. But I thought I'd check out the mainstream media to see what they were saying, and it simply was all about Bitcoin and its $10,000 price point. And the reason for this is the world is now waking up, guys. It's waking up to the fact that it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's not a scam, it is a investment store of value, if you like. Yes, it is a payment service as well, but not quite as good as some of the others that are available. But they're now starting to realize that they have to be in it. Institutional money is getting into it, so they have to be in it unless they want to miss out. And fear of missing out is what is partially driving this phenomenal growth that we're seeing in not only Bitcoin itself, but the market cap as a whole. $322.5 billion the market cap now, and Bitcoin dominance has actually increased by 1% to 54.5% this morning. So it shows there's more and more money flowing in. This is good. The reason this is good is because recognition means higher profits. Now, I tend to dabble. I've got some Bitcoin. I tend to dabble in some ICOs. I have some altcoins as well. And this is good because the money will trickle down from Bitcoin. The more recognition Bitcoin gets, the more the other coins will prosper as well, along with Bitcoin. And we saw that when Bitcoin was at $2,000 even. We saw the alts would follow Bitcoin's trajectory. When Bitcoin went down, the alts would follow. And I think we'll see a more of a separation of those trends in the future. However, I think the alts will benefit because they will get some of the money that Bitcoin is pulling to the market. Because an investor will come and he'll look and he wants to get involved in Bitcoin, but he will look at other coins as well as potential opportunity, and that's good. So some of the Ethereum's obviously a good buy. There'll be other ones, Dash, that they've heard about, but they don't quite know what happens, how it works, how they buy it. But eventually the money will start to trickle down. So as I've said before, and I will say again, at the risk of sounding very boring this morning, 2018 is going to be a massive year for cryptocurrency. We haven't really seen the start of mass adoption, but we're going to see it in 2018. 2018 is going to be the year of the alts. Bitcoin will continue on its upward trajectory. Mike Novogratz said $40,000. I tend to concur. I would think that possibly $40,000 is conservative given the gains we've seen in 2018. It could even be $100,000 by this time 2018. So, you know, all to look forward to, all to play for, but the alts are gonna smash it next year. So if you're in some of them and you got in at an early stage, say you got into Cardano at 2.5 cents, for example, you are going to 10x to 50x your money. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, I did say to people that, that there was a potential for Cardano to go to $1. And with the money flowing in crypto, once the market caps go to trillions of dollars, Cardano will be up there and that potential will be realized. That was scoffed at by some other people, as I said, but they fundamentally don't understand the markets and how things work, nor do they understand the product fully. And Cardano's always been one of my picks. I think it will unseat some of the big boys and you'll get a big shock with Cardano. You really will. If you weren't backing it and you weren't in it, you're going to get a shock. So anyway, smugness aside, let's look at some of the other players. Litecoin broke $100. Again, you know, what can Litecoin do next year? Litecoin can potentially break $1,000 next year. Let's not make any mistake here, guys. The money coming in now is unstoppable. We're talking about $1 trillion market cap, maybe this time in February. End of February next year. You know, that's how fast this is going to grow, and the top alts are going to be the ones that are going to get most of the success. There will be others. If you pick carefully and pick cleverly, then you will see bigger gains. But if you want safer bets, then obviously stuff like Litecoin, Dash, for example, mentioned in the PBC report, will be another one to watch. Now, Tika Tiwari said in the PBC report, which I get as well, and I obviously sift through it, he's a professional investor. He does give financial advice to people. So you know, you have to pay attention to these players in the markets. And Tika said that Dash potentially could be worth $25,000. Now, you might think that's mad, you might think that's wildly optimistic. However, it's probably going to be the case in the future. A lot of these markets are going to get trillions of dollars pumped into them, and the most common ones, the most well-known, are going to benefit the most. Now, will it see those kind of gains? Who knows? It's still jumped in a week from $400 to $650, guys. There's massive potential in even cryptos that are expensive like Dash. Ethereum, another one. It's a platform for building the smart contracts. So you need to be invested in these if you're looking at a balanced portfolio going forward. Anyway, let's further look at the markets. Nearly every coin is smashing it. There are a few. NEO, which has consistently been underperforming. What is wrong with NEO? Again, it's because it's tied to China. Uncertainty, doubt. People don't believe in it. They lost the belief in it when China started all its FUD. And it hasn't recovered, and it won't probably recover because it's geared towards China. Now, people have been predicting this coin, oh, we'll go to 3 figures, it's my biggest gainer, 400% gains. Well, it hasn't done anything, and the reason why is there's other better opportunities out there, guys. Simple fact is, NEO is suffering from the Chinese FUD, and it will continue to do so unless there's a major announcement from China, like China's now going to allow all crypto blockchains, allow the exchanges to open, allow ICOs. NEO's going to suffer. NEO's a smart contract platform, much like Ethereum, and NEO has to be utilized by these ICO companies for it to gain traction and value. The fact that ICOs are banned in China negates NEO becoming higher priced, because people are reluctant to use it as a platform. It may have better technology, you can program in several languages, etc., etc. But the simple fact is the Chinese can't use it or won't use it. It's only being used for Red Pulse ICO and Aphelion ICO, and they don't even have a product. They're just a white paper ICO saying they're going to build a decentralized exchange. Come on, guys, waking up here. This is all common sense. Stellar Lumens absolutely smashing it. EOS, another big gainer. It's starting to retract now. Amisego going to fall out the top 20 if it doesn't really pick up its trousers and start running with the rest of them. Let's continue to look down. See what else has got any big gains. Dogecoin. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Twitter, but there are people pumping Dogecoin in response to the Bcash assault on Bitcoin a few weeks ago, and they say that Dogecoin is in fact easier to use, more scalable, better, cheaper to use for payments than Bcash, and so that's why there is a little bit of a pump behind Dogecoin again. Dogecoin, if you remember, fell off the radar quite some time ago. Lack of support, lack of development support and community support, etc. But seems to have a resurgence, and it's gone from absolute obscurity back up to a market cap of over $250,000. Who'd have thunk it? But there you go. Looking down there, see if anything else is performing. Power Ledger going into the 50s as predicted. 50 to 55 is where this is going to bounce, guys. I would suggest that if you're offloading now, be careful, because you'll have to buy back in if you want to hold some power, because what it'll do now is it will get traction again. Once it gets to a certain point, there'll be a big rebuy, and it will start to climb up the charts again. I think that's going to happen at about 55 cents, if I'm not wrong, and then there'll be a massive surge. Power's a currency that requires some attention because of the projects they're doing and the timeline, the roadmap of the project. So we need to keep our eye on it. It's still well undervalued, I would say, at 59 cents. It'll probably bounce down to 55, thereabouts, and then it may well go on a run, guys. Like I say, I don't want to make predictions. I'm not Mystic Meg with a crystal ball, but it may go on a run. It may do maybe $1.50. Let's stick my neck out there, all right? It's going to go over $1 on its next run, all right? It will reach another all-time high. The run will be fairly parabolic in trajectory. So if you're bag holding it and you're now getting nervous, your bum hole is twitching and you want to offload, might not be a good idea at this stage, because this is pretty much as low as it's going to go. It might go down a few more cents, but then it probably will bounce back up. But be careful. As ever, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, yada, yada, yada. So looking down, Raiden Network retracting slightly. If you didn't get in at the ICO and you still didn't get in after the ICO, despite what I've been telling you about Raiden Network solving the scalability issues of Ethereum to a certain degree, you might want to buy a little bit of that, because that's still got a lot of mileage in it. The market cap is just so low for that. Again, you know, once the big money flows into these cryptos next year, guys, you're going to see these 200 million market caps become 2 billion market caps, and that's 10x in your money. So pick carefully, and just know that the ones you pick, if they're based on good solid projects and the team is active and social media is active and communities behind them, then you won't lose, guys. You really won't lose. So looking down, Ethos has retracted. Civic still not doing anything. Wake up, Civic! Wake up! Let's see. Storage having a little bit of a run. MyNext coin. I'll need to look into this MyNext coin. I think I briefly looked at it. In fact, let's go and have a little quick look at it. So I'm a bit of a charge this morning. I just had my coffee. I'm a bit charged up. So as you could probably tell, my enthusiasm wanes later on in the day when I do my ICO reviews. But I try to make my ICO reviews, my token reviews, pretty balanced. You know, I don't want to be too excited and you know, enthusiastic, because I don't want people to buy on my opinion alone. You know, it's you make your own decisions, you do your own due diligence, your own research, and you invest accordingly. I'm not here to give you advice. I give you my opinion on it. That may help or may not help you make the decision. Okay, my next coin. Okay, payments, yes, a new era of payments, global payment system, yada yada. Low volatility cryptocurrency, really? Up 60% today or something, that's not low volatility. Thanks to the stable exchange rate, my next coin is a reliable means of payment. Okay, it might be if it does actually settle down. So that's quite interesting. I'll have a little look at that in more depth later. And back to the market caps. In fact, let's have a look at the gainers and losers very quickly before I sign off. Universal currency, and look at that. Cardano at number 2. Cardano smashing it. If you're not in Cardano, I'm not saying this, it's an all-time high for the currency, guys. So if you're not in it, then you know, and you're a sensible trader, you won't be buying at all-time highs, especially not with gains of almost 190%. But we'll probably look back in 2018 and wonder why it was ever under 10 cents, let alone 2 cents 50 last week. You know, just incredible. So anything else that takes my interest there? Just the usual pumps. Stellar lumens, a lot of volume in stellar lumens, and it's gone up about 50%. Aeon getting some traction now, and of course Iota we spoke about earlier with Microsoft and Fujitsu partnerships there. Let's see what's going down the tubes. Genesis Vision, there we are, was up to about $8.50, now retracting. What goes up must come down, guys, to an extent. The only, I guess, exception to the rule there would probably be Bitcoin. It goes up and then has these big retractions and goes up again. LA token, asset-based cryptocurrency where you can own assets like paintings and stocks and shares. Not doing particularly well. Hasn't fulfilled promise after the ICO. Mona coin, again, that's up and down like a nun's knickers. Nothing else of interest. So we're going to sign off there, guys. If you want me to do a review, please post in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click on that bell end icon, and get my notifications when they come out. And I'll be doing more of these market analyses and more of these currency videos, more ICO videos in due course. And thank you everybody who voted on my Twitter poll. You could please follow me on Twitter. I'm at Cryptonomatron, of course. It's easy to find me. I do a poll now and again, and I did one yesterday for which ICO I should review next, and the Aussie ICO Kenya won by a decisive victory, so I'm going to do Kenya next, and they plan to bring the blockchain for services. So I believe what they're based on is like the old yellow pages. If you need a plumber or you need a handyman or you need somebody to trim your lawn or whatever, you can find them on this blockchain that will cut out the middlemen and allow you to find these service providers very easily. So interesting concept. It hasn't been on my radar before, but the Twitterati have voted, so I am at their command, and I should have that video ready for you either this afternoon or tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting crypto content. I'm out. Bye for now.